disturbances that sought to deflect us from the real crisis in Zimbabwe. That is Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026. That is where there is the big deal. Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa wants to make more, I think about 21 changes to the constitution of Zimbabwe through a single bill without subjecting the bill to go through a referendum as it is supposed to be. In fact, the process has been illegal. According to Ziyambi, he says MPs that have been debating so far have been repeating what has already been said. And saying he hopes that on Monday they will push the bill to the committee level. Ziyambi wants this illegal constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026 to be a done deal as soon as possible. I don't know what he is rushing. I think he senses so much real opposition to the bill. I think as of tomorrow, maybe going into Tuesday, with the dramatic events surrounding constitutional amendment bill number 3 will begin to commence. There was sort of like a deflation of some sort on the key issue. And according to the state media, this is what they have written. The headline of the story is Cape 3 breaks Parliament debate, records a vote looms. That is what the state media says. Remember, this is the mouthpiece of the regime. This also shows us the mind of the regime. And it's important also to take note of what the architecture of the bill is saying. So Ziyambi says the number of members of, the story in fact reads, the number of members of Parliament who have registered to contribute to the ongoing debate on the Constitutional Amendment number 3, Bill Cap 3 during Tuesday's sitting is expected to influence the timeline of when legislators will proceed to finally vote for the proposed law. A cabinet minister has said Parliament adjourned on Friday with about 110 legislators having debated the bill since the bill reached the second reading stage. Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Ziyambi described CAP 3 in an interview as the most debated bill in the recent history of Parliament. And I think he should ask himself why it is the most debated bill, because Zimbabweans are concerned with Mnangagwa seeking to urinate and actually dismantle the constitution that they could relate with. He said he would decide on ending the second reading debate and proceed to the committee stage and later voting after Tuesday's sitting. Most of the legislators who debated, including those from the opposition, were in support of the proposed amendments. They said the proposed piece of legislation, including extending the electoral cycle to 7 years from 5, would allow continuation of developmental projects and reduce cost of holding elections. Minister Ziyambi said on Tuesday, we will allow those who want to debate, but once we feel, I repeat, that all the MPs willing to debate have debated. Once we feel, not when we note that, once we feel. So this process is moved according to the feelings of Ziyambi. Just imagine, it is supposed to be a national process, but it is done based on the feelings of one man. These people must be enjoying to be Zimbabweans. He says, I will then give my responding speech addressing issues that were raised by honorable members, and that will pave the way for us now to move to the committee stage of the bill. Minister Ziyambi said progress to the next stage will depend on how the debate unfolds on Tuesday, adding that most MPs were repeating what had already been debated. It is dependent on how the debate goes on Tuesday. He said, as you can see, MPs are now repeating what others have said, and we now see a slowing down in the appetite to debate. So hopefully it all goes well. Maybe on Tuesday we may have fewer MPs willing to debate, and then we can proceed. But it is not in my hands, it is in the hands of those who wants to debate. Minister Ziyambi said he will assess the number of legislators who registered to debate before deciding on the way forward. He said if fewer legislators are willing to debate, then he will adjourn the debate and proceed to the committee stage. The Minister Ziyambi attributed to the high level of participation to extensive public consultations that were conducted before the bill was taken to Parliament. We deliberately decided to have that direction because if you recall, when we did public consultations in the past, we used to have one public consultation per province, he said. This time around, we increased the involvement. We had one public consultation per administrative district, which means we deployed a large number of our honorable members to participate in the public consultation. Minister Ziyambi said 90-day consultations conducted by Parliament encouraged legislators to take a keen interest in debating the bill. He described the process as beneficial to both democracy and lawmaking. You can notice that the majority of our MPs, when they stand up to debate, they will emphasize that I am speaking on behalf of those that I represent, and they will cite proceedings of the public consultation. He said, we think it is healthy for constitutional democracy. It is healthy for the law making process because it allows us to refine the legislation and come up with a bill that has been scrutinized thoroughly by members of Parliament. Really? Following the second reading, the bill will move on to the committee stage where MPs will then suggest amendments. After the committee stage, voting will take place before the bill goes to the third reading. The bill will then be passed to the Senate where it will go through a process similar to that at the National Assembly. After the parliamentary process, the bill will be sent to the President for his assent and then gazetted. So you can see the determination from Ziyambi. Apart from being told that he will run, the man appears to be ready to run, and he appears to be determined to actually dismantle the people-centered constitution of 2013. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okancuba Mhlabane is signing